Hey, wait, before you scroll away, I have to ask you something. How many hours have you spent learning English this week?
Okay, don't make him feel guilty already.
No, seriously though, because here's the thing. You don't need 2 hours a day. You don't even need 1 hour. What if I told you that just 10 minutes a day could completely transform your English?
Completely transform? That's bold.
Stay with us and we'll show you exactly how. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have a game plan that actually works.
Welcome back. I'm Martin, and this is Kate.
And we are so excited you're here today. Seriously, every time someone watches our videos, it makes our whole week.
Kate exaggerates a little bit, but it's true. We absolutely love what we do.
If you enjoy this video, and I think you will, please like it, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. It genuinely helps us reach more people who want to improve their English. Plus, you'll never miss our next lesson.
Okay, let's get to the good stuff. Today, we're talking about something that changed my English game completely.
Yes, the best way to improve your English in just 10 minutes a day. And spoiler alert, it's not what most people think it is.
Are we talking apps? Grammar books?
Nope, it's something way more practical and actually fun. So, Martin, why do you think most people fail with their English learning?
Oh, that's easy. They try to do too much too fast. They think, okay, I'm going to study English for 2 hours every single day.
And then by Wednesday?
By Wednesday, they quit. They're exhausted. Their brain is fried. It feels like torture.
Exactly. But here's what science says, and this is really cool. Your brain learns better when you practice in short bursts. It's called spaced repetition.
Spaced repetition. That sounds complicated.
It's not, I promise. It just means practicing something a little bit, then taking a break, then practicing again. Your brain remembers it better that way.
So 10 minutes every day is better than 70 minutes once a week?
Way better. Your brain gets time to process the information while you sleep. Then the next day, you practice again and it sticks.
That actually makes sense. So what are these 10-minute activities we should be doing?
Great question. Let's break it down into 5 strategies. Each one takes about 2 minutes, and together they create the perfect English learning routine.
All right, I'm ready. What's number 1?
Strategy number 1. Listen to one English song or podcast.
Just listen?
Yes, but with a purpose. Don't just passively listen. Pick a song you actually like and listen for words you recognize. Read the lyrics along with it if you can find them.
So if I like jazz music, I should listen to a jazz song in English.
Yes, this is so important. If you hate classical music, don't torture yourself with English lessons sung to classical music. Pick something you genuinely enjoy. You're more likely to do it every single day.
That makes sense. What if the song is too fast or the accent is too strong?
Perfect question. Start with slower songs or podcasts. There are amazing English learning podcasts specifically designed for learners. Search for Slow English Podcast and you'll find tons of options. After a few weeks, your ear adjusts and you can understand faster speech.
Okay, that's strategy 1. What about strategy 2?
Strategy 2. Read one short article or news story in English.
Ugh, reading feels like work, though.
I get it. But here's the trick. Read something you're actually interested in. Sports news, fashion, technology, photography.
Oh, photography. I love photography.
Perfect. Search photography news in English and read one short article. Just one. Your eyes will recognize words. Your brain will start to understand how English sentences are structured.
But what if I don't understand every word?
Don't look up every word. That's the biggest mistake learners make. Read the whole thing first. Most of the time, you'll understand from context. Then, if there's a key word you really don't understand, look it up. This keeps the activity short and fun.
Okay, that's smart. What's number 3?
Strategy 3, speak out loud for 2 minutes.
Speak? By myself?
Yes, and this is where people get nervous, but it's so important. You need to train your mouth to speak English, not just your brain to understand it.
So what do I talk about? Do I need a conversation partner?
Nope. Talk to yourself. Don't worry, you're not crazy. Describe your day in English, or describe what you see around you right now. I am sitting in my bedroom. I can see a blue wall. There is a desk with my computer on it.
That sounds weird, but actually, I think I've done that before.
Right? And it works. Your brain needs to actively produce English, not just receive it. Even if no one is listening, speaking out loud rewires your brain and improves your accent and fluency.
Okay, I'm convinced. What's strategy 4?
Strategy 4, write one sentence or paragraph in English.
Like in a journal?
Yes, or a journal, or a comment on social media, or a text message to a friend. The key is writing it yourself, not just copying something.
Interesting. Why is writing so important?
Because writing forces you to think about grammar, word order, and spelling. It's slower than speaking, so your brain has to work harder. This makes the learning stick better.
What if I make mistakes?
Then you make mistakes. That's how you learn. No one is going to judge you. And honestly, most people understand you even if there's a small grammar mistake.
That's actually encouraging.
It is. And here's a bonus tip. After you write your sentence, read it out loud. Now you're combining writing and speaking, 2 strategies in 1.
I like efficiency. What about strategy 5?
Strategy 5, the final one, review one new word or phrase.
Just one word?
Just one. Pick a word you learned this week or a word you heard in a song or podcast. Write it down, write the definition, write an example sentence. Say it out loud 3 times.
That seems almost too simple.
It is simple, but this is how your brain actually stores vocabulary. Repetition, context, and active use. One word at a time, done consistently, builds an amazing vocabulary over months.
So let me add this up. That's listening, reading, speaking, writing, and vocabulary, all in 10 minutes?
Exactly. 2 minutes each. They're short bursts, they cover all the skills, and your brain doesn't get tired.
Okay, so we know the 5 strategies, but how do we actually make this a habit?
Aha, this is the secret sauce. You need to make it part of your routine.
Like brushing your teeth?
Exactly like that. Most people brush their teeth every single day without thinking about it, right?
Right, because it's automatic.
So here's what you do. You pick a specific time every day. Maybe it's right after breakfast, or during your lunch break, or before bed. Same time, every single day.
Why the same time?
Because your brain loves habits. After a few weeks, your brain expects it. You don't even have to think about it. You just automatically do it.
That's genius.
It is. And here's another trick. Tell someone about your goal. Tell your friend, your family, or even post in the comments below that you're starting this routine. When other people know about your goal, you're way more likely to stick with it.
Social pressure in a good way.
Exactly. So, viewers, if you're committing to this 10-minute English routine, please tell us in the comments. What time of day will you practice? We'll be reading every comment, and honestly, it motivates us, and it motivates you.
Kate, do you have any proof that this actually works? Because someone might think, 10 minutes, that's not enough time to really learn.
Great question. So let's do the math. 10 minutes a day times 7 days equals 70 minutes a week, times 4 weeks equals 280 minutes a month. That's almost 5 hours.
Oh, wow, when you put it like that.
And here's the thing. After 3 months of consistent 10-minute practice, you will notice a huge difference in your listening, vocabulary, and confidence. After 6 months, you'll surprise yourself with how much you understand.
I've seen this work with people I know. My cousin started doing this, and after 4 months, she could watch Netflix without subtitles. She was shocked.
Yes, because she was consistent. She didn't miss days, and her brain was processing English in multiple ways: listening, reading, writing, speaking, vocabulary.
So it's not magic, it's just consistent practice.
It's consistent practice with a smart system. That's the difference between people who improve and people who don't.
What are some mistakes people make with this routine?
Okay, number 1, being too hard on yourself. If you miss a day, it's not the end of the world. Just start again the next day. Don't quit because you missed one day.
Yeah, perfection is the enemy of progress.
Exactly. Number 2, choosing material that's too difficult. If you can't understand even 50% of what you're listening to or reading, it's too hard. Pick something easier. Make it fun.
And number 3?
Number 3, translating everything in your head. This is so common. Learners try to translate English to their native language and back again. Stop doing that.
But how do you understand if you don't translate?
Your brain can learn to think in English directly. It takes time, but it's possible. Try to understand the meaning from context, not from word-by-word translation.
That's interesting and hard.
It's hard at first, but it gets easier, trust me.
Okay, let's review some key words from today's lesson really quickly.
Our first word is consistent.
Consistent means you do something regularly, again and again, without stopping. If you are consistent with your English practice, you will improve. Say it with us. Consistent. Consistent.
Word number 2, routine.
A routine is something you do every day in the same way. My English routine is 10 minutes every morning. Routine. Routine.
Number 3, spaced repetition.
This means practicing something, taking a break, then practicing again later. It helps your brain remember better. Spaced repetition is more effective than studying for 2 hours straight. Spaced repetition.
And number 4, passive versus active.
Passive learning is when you just listen or read without thinking. Active learning is when you think and participate and use the language. You want to be active. Active learning is more effective for improving your English.
These are great words to remember.
All right, it's time for our favorite part, the question of the day.
Oh, I love this.
Today's question is, what 10-minute English activity will you start doing first? Will it be listening to a song, reading an article, speaking to yourself, writing, or learning vocabulary?
And please tell us when you'll do it. Will it be in the morning, during lunch, before bed?
Yes, tell us your plan in the comments. We promise to read as many as we can. Plus, when you write your answer, you're practicing English, which is literally what we're teaching you to do.
Meta, I love it.
Write a few sentences. Don't be nervous. We are all here to learn together, and we love seeing your English.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
Learning English is a journey, and we're so grateful to be on this journey with you. Some days will feel amazing, and some days will feel harder. That's completely normal.
The important thing is to keep practicing, just 10 minutes every single day.
If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Click that bell so you don't miss our next video.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye, friends.
Bye!